don't know. I guess you look at it and winning's hard at all levels. And the one thing you learn when you coach for a really long time, not to say I've coached for a really long time, but I'm upwards of 20 years already in my career. You learn that winning's hard, and you learn to celebrate every single time. No matter what you feel like, no matter what it looks like, you learn to celebrate it, and then you got to learn from it. And we'll look at it. I'll look at it and see where we can get better, see what we can do better, and we'll take tomorrow off, rest our legs, try and get healthy, and then get back to work and get ready for Monday. So I'm open for questions.
Emily, let's start with John.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I know. With 15:31 left in the second half, you pulled out 4 of the 5 guys on the court, everyone but John. What did you see that spurred that decision?
You know what? We talked about this after the UMass game, and I don't know how many teams there are in the country. I think it's 351 around there. We're 325th in three-point defense, and a lot of those things we're trying to fix are positioning-wise, like changing where we are, getting through screens better, being there on the catch, and then they start the second half. We were very comfortable defensively, and then they started getting comfortable offensively and making threes. So the one thing that I told those guys in the timeout, I told them after the game, we're going to play to a standard. I don't care what the score is. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care who's in the game. The game needs to be played the right way. And those guys weren't playing the right way. So we found 5 guys that were going to go in there and play it the right way. And, some of those guys have never been in before, especially not in that point in time. But I told them to go in and play as hard as they possibly could. And I told the 3 walk-ons that were sitting there that they were next if those guys didn't get it done. We were going to find 5 guys. I think the rules tell me I have to start with 5, but I could probably play 4 at some point in time if we need to. So we're going to keep finding the right mix. And I think the point got across. They played a little bit harder when they got in there. But you don't want guys to get comfortable, right? If you're not doing what you're supposed to do with your minutes, somebody else needs to get them. And they need to play as hard as possible. So we're going to play to a standard, and that's what I was trying to get right there.
You talked about changing up your lineup. What went into this decision to get Jelani in there? And he obviously has a very unique skill in offensive rebounding. How much can he expand from that at this point of his career? Thanks.
Yeah, I think just starting with more size, like trying to, make that a strength of ours. It's been a strength. John's gotten rebounds. Jelani's gotten offensive rebounds. Now you put them both in there together. And I think Jelani did that. He started the game. We had an opportunity. He gets a couple offensive rebounds early and gets some baskets. I think that's something that he can continue to do. He needs to play without fouling a little bit better so we can get him more minutes. 16-28. Like, we'd love to have him out there more. Like, he did 8 points and 7 rebounds in that time. But more time together, I think, with those 2 guys. They haven't had much practice time together, just based on circumstances. So, it was a little clunky in terms of how they played offensively. But we're getting better. We'll continue to get better. The more guys we get back into practice, the more time they can get together. And I think they'll start to gel a little bit. So we still need to continue to be better defensively. And, I say that they scored 59 points, but it's still like those 2 guys together, if they can guard and do what they're supposed to do, I think we want to play them together a little bit.
Micah, obviously, maybe you weren't super pleased with how you guys handled the press against UMass. Saw it again tonight. What did you think of how you did with it this time around?
We didn't value the basketball. Our goal is 10 turnovers or less. And if you would come and watch us practice, we do stuff every single day. It's passing and catching. You would think you're at elementary school practice. But that's the game right there. Passing and catching. Can I throw a hard pass? Can I meet my pass? Can I catch it with 2 hands? Can I pass fake and deliver it? That's where we need to continue to get better. We worked against the press for 2 straight days, and we still weren't great at it. So we'll get back to work at it again on Friday. Even if Cornell doesn't press, we're going to work against the press because we need to get better at it. I think our poise needs to get better, and then every possession, value the basketball. And I thought we were just a little loose with it tonight, and that's something where luckily those balls were going out of bounds instead of to the other team, and they were sprinting down and getting layups. So I guess that was the only positive of us turning the ball over. Hopefully no fans got hurt.
I know basketball has turned into more of a three-point game, but in the Big Ten, to be able to finish around the rim, I realize you're not in the Big Ten right now, but the confidence that Sam has to get in the dirty areas and really finish with confidence, how important is that going to be moving forward?
It's really important. I think our spacing in terms of the other guys where they are on the floor allows him to get to the basket. I think that's been a point of emphasis of our team early on. These guys, how they play defensively, they really try and get in the passing lanes. They overplay a lot, so those driving lanes were open. But our other guys being in the right spot and not clogging the lane or taking up his space to drive. I think that's important. So if we can continue to do that, I think him getting into the lane and then making the right decisions from there. I think that's a huge step right there is I go to score. If I can't score it, I find the next guy. I find the open guy. Now people are behind plays. They're closing out. They're scrambling. Now we can attack more. So I think it's going to be important for us in terms of how we play and him making the next step as a playmaker as well.
Go ahead, Nate.
Is there a kind of a natural feeling out process that's happening right now between you and the players and you? Things that maybe they haven't seen from you that happened during a game, and things that you haven't seen from them that maybe happened during practice?
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of that. And like we've played people defensively who have really overplayed a lot of stuff in terms of how they play and what they've done, and whether it be a press, whether it be half court, denying passes, and everything else. So you have to play a little bit differently in that way, and that's something that we're still feeling out the process. And I haven't been in a late game with these guys very much. This is game 3 for us, and we're still learning each other. We're still learning like who our best lineups are to finish games and all those things, and they'll come to us with time. I think we're constantly growing, and we had 2 good practices this week, but we also, this is another week. We haven't had everybody on our team at one practice at one time this season, right? Not to make excuses. I say it all the time. Nobody feels sorry for me. St. Francis didn't feel sorry. Cornell doesn't feel sorry. The Big Ten's not going to feel sorry for us. So we need to go with, what we got. But we need to get everybody healthy. There's sickness out there that's, taking a hold of our team and devastating us at times. But you still have to win anyway. You have to find a way to win anyway. And, this is putting guys in different situations to do that. And it is a great learning experience for, the next time we step out here. Hopefully each game we're better. And hopefully from November to December we grow, December to January, January, February to March. We want to be a finished product then, not now.
To go off of Nate's question in terms of feeling these guys out, does that kind of, when you make kind of that mass sub like you did, is that something where you're not exactly sure how it might go? It could go one way or the other. Is that kind of what you're learning right now?
Oh, that was a total chance right there, wasn't it? It was flip of the dice. If I saw you, I was throwing you in too. I was looking for 5. But I thought John was a good person to leave into the game. But I knew those guys would play hard. And like I said, we've gotten more guys back at practice, so we really competed for 2 days in a row. Like, I didn't know I was going to start Jelani. At practice yesterday, I huddled all those guys up, and I was like, I don't know who's starting. You're going to tell me who's starting by how we practice today. Right? That's how we picked it, just because he had a good couple of days of practice, and the other guys had good days of practice. And we're going to continue to do that. If we need to change things up, because one guy's playing great, then he needs to find a way to get on the court. and you got to earn what you get. I tell that to these guys in the locker rooms. I tell it to recruits when I sit in their living rooms. You get what you earn with me. You come in and play hard, you're going to play, right? If you've started 100 games in your career and somebody else is playing harder than you, that guy is going to play. Like, you're not getting satisfied. We don't get satisfied. We play to a certain standard, and that's what we're trying to do. I think that's what we're getting out in practice.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.